What's up, Raider Nation? Hope you're all having an awesome 4th of July. Whether you're lighting up the sky with fireworks, grilling up some burgers, or just relaxing with family and friends, but here on the channel, we're locked in because the Las Vegas Raiders look like a whole new team this year. And we've got some serious changes to break down. Today, we're talking position groups. Which ones leveled up big time and which ones, unfortunately, took a step back this offseason. Let's dive into it, starting off with the position group that slides into our top 5 winners. The strong safety unit. Now I know some fans might be surprised this group made the cut. But the reason is simple, Jeremy Chinn. When the Raiders signed Chinn to a 2-year deal this offseason, it sent a strong message. This guy brings that same energy we used to see from Kem Chancellor during those Legion of Boom days in Seattle, and the cool part is, Chinn's been coached under Dan Quinn, who comes from the Pete Carroll coaching tree. That connection matters, and it shows in how Chinn has been utilized this off-season. He's not just playing deep coverage, the Raiders are lining him up as more of a hybrid. A little bit of that strong safety mixed with linebacker responsibilities. Kinda like how they use Robert Spillane at times. Patrick Graham loves that versatility, and when you compare Chinn to Marcus Epps or Isaiah Pola-Mao, it's clear he's an upgrade. I still believe Pola-Mao has value on this roster, and Lonnie Johnson Jr. brings decent depth. But it's Chinn's presence that lifts this group into the winners column, sliding in at number 4. The tight end room, this one might need a bit more context, but I'm standing on it. This group is a winner. And the biggest reason is the development of Michael Mayer. Going into his 3rd season out of Notre Dame, Mayer's ready to take a leap. He flashed some potential last year, but I expect him to really come into his own this season. And let's not forget Brock Bowers. He's entering year 2. And while he might not replicate the numbers from his rookie year in terms of raw stats, most tight ends tend to take a jump in their 2nd season in the NFL. That experience adds up. Now, I'll be real, Ian Thomas isn't a better 3rd option than Harrison Bryant was last season. But overall, the depth is holding steady. I also like the upside of Cole Fotheringham to potentially crack the roster. Bottom line, year 2. Bowers and a year 3 Mayer together is enough to call this an upgraded room. That's why tight end lands at number 4 on the list. Now let's talk about number 3, wide receivers, and I know, Davante Adams was on this team last year, so how can this room be better? It comes down to fit, development, and depth. Trey Tucker has been one of the biggest offseason winners on the offensive side. He showed up to camp ready, focused, and looking like a guy who's primed for a breakout. I'm not saying he's going to be the next Tyler Lockett, but there's definitely that same type of energy building around him. A reliable deep threat with growing chemistry with the quarterback. The Raiders also added Jack Beck in the 2nd round, a guy I really like. And Dante Dorton Jr. has been making noise throughout the offseason, already earning snaps with the first team. Tommy Mellott is still a work in progress, especially as a receiver, but he's showing flashes as a special teams contributor. And here's the take that might ruffle some feathers, Jakobi Meyers. In this current offensive system under Luke Getsy, is a better fit than Davante Adams was last year. I'm not saying Meyers is the better overall wide receiver historically, but in this offense, with his ability to block, find soft spots in coverage, and do the dirty work, he's more valuable. I'd take Meyers in this 2025 Raiders offense over 2024 Adams any day of the week, and twice on Sunday, cracking into the top 2 quarterbacks. Gotta talk about the most important position on the field. The Raiders went out and got Geno Smith this offseason, and let me be blunt, he's the best quarterback the Silver and Black have had since Derek Carr's 2016 season. That's not even up for debate. Last year, it was a combination of Gardner Minshew and Aidan O'Connell. And while I've got respect for AOC, he's one of the best backups in the league. No doubt, Geno is a massive upgrade. He's a top 14 quarterback at worst, with top 10 potential depending on who you ask. He brings poise, experience, and a level of accuracy that simply wasn't there last season. Also, shout out to Cam Miller, the rookie quarterback 3 on the depth chart. I see him more as a long-term project, but from what we've seen so far, he looks like a better developmental piece than Desmond Ridder ever was. So when you add it all up, a real starter in Geno, a rock-solid backup in O'Connell, and a project with upside in Miller, this quarterback room is a big winner. But the number 1 position group that improved the most this offseason, running backs, it's not even close. This team had the worst rushing attack in the entire NFL last year, dead last in yards per game. yards per carry, and total rushing yards. It was a disaster. But that's not the case anymore. The Raiders went all in on fixing the ground game. And it started by drafting Ashton Jeanty with the 6th overall pick. This kid is special. He's explosive, he's versatile, and I'm gonna say it right now. He's already a top 5 back in the NFL. And they didn't stop there. They brought in Raheem Mostert, a veteran who's got speed for days and a solid history with Chip Kelly. Mostert is the kind of savvy signing that balances the room perfectly. The depth has also been upgraded. Sincere McCormick has shown flashes. And when you stack him and Mostert against what we had last year, guys like Zamir White, Amir Abdullah, and Damian Williams, it's night and day. I get it. Alexander Mattison is gone. But the top 3 backs this year are far more dangerous than what we had last year. We went from having arguably the worst running back room in the league to one of the best. That's why running backs top the list. Now, not every group came out ahead this offseason. It's time to flip the script and look at the position groups that didn't exactly come out winners. We're talking about the ones that took a step back, had some talent walk out the door, or just didn't get the reinforcements they needed. We're starting with the 5th biggest loser, offensive guards. And before you jump into the comments, hear me out. Yes, the offensive line as a whole looks better. But when we isolate the guard spot, there's some drop-off. The big signing was Alex Kappa. And while he's got experience, he was statistically the worst starting guard in the league last year among guys who played nearly every snap. That's not great. Caleb Rogers came in as a 3rd-round pick, and while there's potential there, everything I've heard is that he needs time to develop. But the main issue, Jackson Powers Johnson, who was solid at left guard last season, is moving to center full-time. That leaves a hole. Dylan Parham and JPJ formed a better duo than what we're rolling with now, Kappa. And whoever wins the other spot, whether it's Meredith, Muff, or another rotational guy, none of them inspire confidence. So while the line overall may be improved, the guard position in particular has taken a hit. Continuing with our breakdown of the Raiders offseason, let's look at the rest of the position groups that unfortunately didn't come out on top. We already covered offensive guards, but sliding into the number for loser spot is the cornerback group. And this one was tough to rank because there's some potential here, but there are also serious question marks. Darren Porter's stock is on the rise. Jacorian Bennett still has upside, and Eric Stokes, when healthy, can be a solid starter, but the loss of Nate Hobbs stings. Say what you want about his play last year, but Hobbs was the most complete corner on this team, and he played a critical role at nickel. Now that he's gone, the top nickel corner is Darnay Holmes, and no disrespect to Holmes, but that's a serious downgrade. It's not just about talent either. Hobbs brought leadership and familiarity with the system, and losing that matters. There's been talk of Patrick Graham possibly filling that nickel role with a safety like Thomas Harper, but the fact that it's even up in the air shows the instability. When I compare the top 3 corners from last year, Hobbs, Jack Jones, and Bennett, to this year's projected top 3 of Stokes, Porter, and Bennett, it feels like a lateral move at best. And if you ask me, losing Hobbs shifts that balance downward. So while I like some of the new pieces, I can't ignore the fact that this cornerback group has more questions than answers. Going into the season. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a stunning turn of events that set the NFL rumor mill ablaze, whispers are growing loud around Raiders running back Ashton Jeanty, who may already be regretting his decision to join Las Vegas. According to sources close to the player, Jeanty reportedly confessed in private, "This was my worst choice." The explosive quote has sent shockwaves through the league, with many questioning whether Jeanty's time in the silver and black might be shorter than expected. While no official statement has been made by the team or Jeanty himself, the alleged comment hints at deeper issues behind closed doors, whether it's dissatisfaction with coaching, locker room dynamics, or a lack of on-field chemistry. Insiders say Jeanty hasn't looked like the same explosive back that lit up college football. Rumblings of frustration have surfaced in recent weeks, with some even claiming that he's already spoken with his agent about potential trade options if things don't turn around quickly. It's a surprising development considering the hype that surrounded Jeanty's arrival, heralded as a future star and a key piece of the Raiders' rebuilding puzzle. Expectations were sky high, but now, with his production dipping and morale reportedly low, speculation is swirling. Did Jeanty choose the wrong franchise at the wrong time? Naturally. Raiders fans are divided. Some argue it's too early to judge, urging patience and pointing to the team's ongoing transition. Others, however, fear that if these rumors are true, Jeanty's mindset might already be out the door long before his contract says it should be. Of course, in the NFL, words travel fast and often grow legs. It's still unclear whether this alleged quote is a moment of frustration blown out of proportion or a genuine indication of deeper discontent. But one thing is clear, the situation is worth watching if things don't improve soon in Las Vegas. Don't be surprised if Ashton Jeanty becomes one of the biggest storylines of the next trade window. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.